with the inherent advantage of obviously getting this potential early advantage. A lot of Zerglings outside of Soki's base. And actually, I'm totally wrong. There is a second. Going for a second drone kill here. I don't think he got it. But yeah, Soki is mining his second gas as well. So ignore everything I said. The air battle should be fairly even. I think these fires went down at roughly the same time. I think Soki's was a bit later, but not late enough that he'd be able to, for instance, get Scourge and go kill Soki's first mutas as they popped in.
No. We do have the first mutas out here from Professor to watch some muta micro, and he's actually got pretty decent muta micro there. Dodged the Scourge with, well, he only had 3 mutas out in the air, brought in a 4th, I believe. So now he's going to pick out an Overlord and probably going to get it. I think there's only a couple mutas out for Sulky, and this Perfective's going to get it. It's very, very close. Some more reinforcing air units coming in for both players right now. And this sometimes happens when you see both players get a second base. You'll sometimes see that where they just kind of sit around for a little bit, for a minute or two, just gather up huge muta numbers and try and make a choice. And I'm not really sure what just blew up. Maybe that was a link from Perfective or something that was trying to sneak in, but something just blew up for in Sulky's base, and maybe trying to come in here for attack is Perfective. And here comes a big air battle with a few links coming in behind, and there's the rest of the links from Perfective. So here he comes trying to break Sulky's front. That Sunken Colony looks like it's going to be enough to defend, at least on the ground. And who's going to come out ahead in the air battle? Looks like all the Scourge have fallen for Perfective, but Perfective has more mutas, and I think this could be it. Some Scourge coming in here from Sulky, and it is going to possibly be enough as it does land, and Perfective is forced back. That looked like a very dangerous spot. Perfective was very, very close to actually taking the game right there, but Sulky able to defend that. Sunken Colony surviving with a sliver of HP, and some very, very timely late Scourge coming in there for Sulky, allowing him to survive, and actually comes out defending effectively there in that big, big battle.
Yeah, I think Perfective missed a couple windows there. The first thing he could have done is picked off that Overlord. You said there was something that died in Sulky's main. I think he was actually killing his own Zerglings because he was supply blocked already. The Sunken also attacked the lane. I think he ended up killing about 3 Zerglings there because he was already supply blocked. And if he had lost that Overlord at the same time, then that could have been really, really bad for Sulky's reinforcements, which is what allowed him to defend that. So really, Perfective could have done even more damage there. I think he ended up picking up 1 or 2 drones, but there were still a few drones on gas, so a couple opportunities there that Perfective could have capitalized on, but didn't. I still think he's in the advantage here, but it's stabilized a bit, and I don't think he's going to be able to kill Sulky anytime soon, although he looks like he might be going for another engagement.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the battle is very, very close just because the muta counts are still very, very close, and Perfective actually coming in here is going to pick off an Overlord now, which means Sulky is side blocked. You can see that in the bottom left. He is at 42-42, whereas Perfective is 44-58. So he is a little bit in the advantage right now, and will continue to be so for at least a little while here. And some Zerglings actually coming in for Sulky, going to try and pick off some drones. I don't think they picked up any drones. They picked off a couple of Zerglings so far, but no drones yet. And Perfective bringing all of his forces back home, all of his air forces, which means that Sulky able to take map control for a moment, picking off a Overlord of Perfective. So Perfective nearly side blocked as well, going to have to produce spend another larva on Overlord, and that is a ton of Scourge. That looks like well over a control group of Scourge for Perfective. So he's built a huge number of Scourge, and maybe I wonder if either of them is building up air armor possibly behind this. We haven't seen any upgrades yet for either player, but usually that's sort of what you see is anytime they're not choosing to engage with big hordes of air units, is because one or both of them are actually waiting for some sort of an upgrade before the engagement occurs.
It's very possible. Sulky really suiciding 2 Scourge in there. I think trying to grab a couple Scourge kills for his individual Scourge, just if Perfective wasn't paying attention there. Kind of cool, and also scouting the number of units out, and there's, like you said, so many Scourge out for Perfective. If he can clone those perfectly, then that can be a huge advantage for him, but if he's unable to clone them perfectly, then it could be just a huge waste having that many Scourge. It is going to be able to keep Sulky from running towards Perfective's base, just being rid of so many Scourge that he's just going to end up having to run away from anyway, just because there's so many of them. I'd be curious to see right now if either of them puts down a Queen's Nest. The 2 things that could happen right now are either an air upgrade for the Mutalisks or a Queen Nest to try to go for the lair or for Hive or for an ensnare, which is another advantage that you could go for. Um, the third thing that they could be working towards is the third base, which is a lot harder to do. So I'd imagine they're just going to turtle for a little bit, maybe get an air upgrade, and maybe get queens out.
You know what's hilarious? Just as you said that, possibly going to Queen, they switched over to, they panned the video over to Zero, being like, hey, Zero, the king of Hive Queen, of Hive play, of pulling out Queens and Ensnare, which he's done on so many games. Well, maybe not so many, it's a bad way to say it, but definitely several games where I've seen him go Queens in ZVC and win with the Ensnare. And you called that very, very appropriately just as the camera moved over. I don't know if maybe your stream is a couple seconds ahead, so maybe that wasn't as coincidental as it was on mine, but that was very, very cool. It does look like Sulky now sending his forces out to the north, and this is kind of interesting. That's almost dangerous. Anytime you move your forces so far away from your base, you got to be really careful, because if your opponent knows it and can get any sort of advantage, you can actually end up losing a lot of units or losing a lot of territory, like positioning, and end up with your mutas completely out of position. So he's got to be careful with that. He has brought them back and picked off an overlord, so he's hanging out, and now he is going towards the main, picks off a drone or two inside of a main, and Sulky are Perfective coming in here for a big, huge attack. Everything just blew up. I don't know if he landed more or what, but everything just blew up. All the Scourge are down, and now it's just muta on muta battle, and it looks like Perfective is way ahead. Wow. Perfective is so far ahead. He must have cloned those Scourges very, very well. That's exactly what you were talking about. That was some fantastic cloning of those Scourges, I think, because he is so far ahead right now. And this game is over, and this match is going to be over. Perfective is going to come in here and sweep through Sulky's base and is going to take this down.
That was unreal. I thought the Mutalisk numbers were really close, which means those Scourge were cloned extremely well, like better than I've seen like almost anyone else do it. Like he must have killed 7 or 8 mutas just with Scourge alone. Well, maybe not that many, but being able to kill, like, if you just A-move Scourge, then they're going to kill 1, maybe 2 mutas. But it takes a lot of time, and it wasn't a huge run-up to that battle, so he cloned them very quickly as well. And there's the GG coming from Sulky. It's going to be 4-2 for KT Roaster. They're going to tie up the best-of-3 series, and this is going to go to a 3rd series tomorrow night, I believe. Great job from Perfective there. Pretty new player, pulling out the win for his team when it really counts.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure Perfective didn't he have like a random awesome game during like Winners League where he had like a 3-kill or a 4-kill, and that was the first time we heard of him? I think he did something like that. So he has gotten a little bit of notoriety for that. Hasn't done much since, but this is definitely going to help him out, and especially for his conference. He might even get to play tomorrow. Look at that. You know, you start winning and you start winning in the playoffs, you're going to get more and more playtime. So good for him, for a young player to make that case to his coaches. I think we might actually see him tomorrow.
Yeah, another player that I seem to remember making his breakout in a playoff game was none other than Sulky. Last year in the Winners League playoffs, I believe, it was Woojin Stars against STX Seoul, and Sulky was pretty much unknown at that point, came out, got a 3-kill, and has been a mainstay of the team ever since. So really, this is the kind of game that you make your name in, and Perfective with a huge win there, and a pretty impressive display, despite obviously having the early advantage in the build orders. Didn't really capitalize on that, but then later in the game, played a great game of muta positioning and Scourge cloning, and just made Sulky look silly there.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. It's almost 3 a.m. for me, so I am actually going to head off to bed. But I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. I had a lot of fun, and I don't know if we'll be able to come back tomorrow or not. It is Sunday night, so it's obviously more difficult to do with Monday coming up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, and just a quick thank you to Eaton for streaming, and to GTR, Nanishin, and anyone else who streams directly from the Korean streams. Obviously, we couldn't do it without them, so thanks to those guys, and thank you guys for watching.